Hey guys, long time no talk. I'm so sorry for the 4 months it took me to get back here. Life happened. It hit me like a wrecking ball and I did not record a video for a really long time. But I'm back and I brought one of my favorite people ever.
Yay!
Steph. If you don't know her, her name is Steph.
Thanks for that.
She's so awesome. So basically what I'm doing as I'm revamping these videos, I'm gonna do like interviews, bring my friends along who are like super creative in their own field so that we can all be inspired by them, share stories, share advice, share tips, talk about life, ministry, God, creative things, and just have a blast. So, Steffi, tell us about yourself. No pressure.
That's like the hardest question to answer.
Tell us what you do.
Yeah, so I run a blog called Rags and Grace. I started this about 2 years ago. Love it. It's really created to inspire women to be themselves and to be bold and to be pretty on the inside first and let that overflow onto the outside, and that will overflow in what you wear and all that stuff. So I started that, but apart from just blogging, I'm a worship leader. I do some graphic design on the side for fun. I am a full-time wedding photographer, wedding and couples photographer, and I do that as my main career and job. But yeah, I do a whole bunch of things revolving around creative things.
Share with us like how you balance it all, and then like, you know, what made you want to start Rags and Grace like years ago, right?
Yeah. I think I started Rags and Grace out of a place of like hurt, not knowing who I was, dealing with insecurity. Not that I'm over insecurity. I don't think you're ever really over it. I think it's something you progressively get stronger in. But I was in a really weak place with security in myself, and so I started the blog in a way of like expressing how I felt, and then realizing like, oh, I really like writing and I really like encouraging people. But speaking to like what you were saying about managing all these things that you love, my pastor said this recently. He's like, I don't believe in like time management. It's more of life management.
Yeah.
And it's how you manage what God has given you. And so if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a photographer, if you want to be a blogger, whatever you want to do in life, go for it and go 100%. Just don't think about it and talk about it. I think a lot of girls and a lot of people in general, like both sexes, like they talk about things and never actually execute them because they're fearful, which is totally validated. Like sometimes you're scared of trying new things, or you're scared that you don't have all the equipment to do this or that. But I feel like if you just start, if only you would just take the leap of faith and just try to do one blog post or like try this, even if you don't have everything squared out. I think there's a lot of there's beauty in that, and there's faith, and I think God honors that. And so if you are trying to do something new, if you are trying to accomplish a new goal, I would just say go for it. I think that's what inspired me, just trying new things, and then being consistent, like persistency over perfection. My pastor says, like always trying to be persistent and not trying to, you know, hit the mark all the time in the center. That's the goal, but if you can, it's okay. As long as you're persistent. I think that's the best thing.
Preach, Pastor Steph. That's so true though. I think that a lot of us, sometimes we spread ourselves too thin and we do everything. And I think that if you do too many things, you'll end up being mediocre at everything. But I do think if you have like a few things that you're like, you know what, I really love to play guitar, and I also love to sing, I also love to write, I also love fitness, or I'm also an athlete, or you know, whatever you're interested in, you can do all. You're also like have a newfound love for like fitness, right?
Yes. You can do all those things.
You can do all those things. This girl, okay, I worked out with her a few times and I'm still dead. I'm still sore from 2 months ago. So anyways, she's really inspiring because she does so many different things and she does them all with excellence. Also because she puts the time in to like perfecting your craft. I think that, tell us about how you have been able to kind of get to a level where you're shooting these awesome weddings, shooting my wedding in 3 weeks. And just all the different things you're doing, how you've gotten to get to the level you're at.
I think you don't get anywhere alone. I would definitely say that I'm where I am because of the people that I've surrounded myself with and the people that God has brought me So definitely, like, you don't get to the mountaintop alone. You trek there with people holding your hand and pushing you. So definitely surround yourself with people who are doing things. If you're around people who are not motivated, if you're around people who are not, life-giving, it's gonna influence your decisions. It's gonna influence what you do. Like right now, it's a Friday night and we are recording a video for people to inspire them. Like, you need to get yourself around people who are doing things that are, like, if you want to be a blogger, get around bloggers. If you want to be a videographer, get around people who are doing videos and learn, soak it in, and be around people who are doing things. And I think that's gonna really launch you into where God wants you, if that's where God has called you. So I definitely would say the people that you surround yourself with have a big influence on where you're going and what you're doing.
Yeah, that's so true. I think that so many of us like surround ourselves with people who are not healthy, or like relationships that are toxic, and we just keep them around, and that will stunt your growth. If you want to grow, like I always tell people, like at daughters gatherings, or I think maybe my mom told me first, that you are your 3 closest friends. So like you will reflect the 3 immediate people that are in your life, because they're probably the first people you're going to, for advice, for consoling, for quality time. And so you're gonna naturally reflect and kind of like emanate their qualities, even if it's not intentional, even if you don't agree with the way they live their life, you're naturally gonna start living your life like them. So like, how do you balance your friendships and like, even dating relationships? We'll get real. Like, how do you stay true to yourself when there's constantly people, especially in creative fields, who either compare themselves to you, they're very competitive. Lately, I've been dealing with people who like have just been kind of conniving, and who I thought were for me, who weren't for me. And I think we all go through that. How do you kind of deal with that and stay true to yourself?
That's a really great question. I think that in this, I've, like you said, maintained like 3 people, or like a group of like a handful of people where I know their heart, I know their intention, and I can rely that they'll tell me things from a good place and not from a place of like trying to compete with you. For me, how I deal with competition in general, I just step back. Like if I feel not in a way step back where I'm like, all right, like you can have it. Like in a way, like I step away from the situation. I like separate myself. And I don't associate myself as much, because I realize that you have a different heart and intention than I do. And I think that a lot of times this happens in the blogging world, where people, everyone's starting a blog, everyone's starting a YouTube channel, and that's awesome. All of that is great, but understanding who you have by you, and understanding you're running the race together and you're not competing. So like I maintain close relationships with people where I feel like I could tell them successes and I can tell them losses, and I will never feel like it's gonna take away. Or I feel like I'm up wanting the other person, or feeling like it's gonna cause some weird friction. So I've realized that, God, I pray about this obviously, and I ask God to reveal like intentions of people as I get to know them and stuff like that. But I also realized that I always go back to those people that I know that I could say, hey, like this awesome thing happened with like my blogging situation. Like this person reached out, and I know that by me saying that, it's not gonna cause insecurity in their situation, because they're secure. So like I have found that, and it's hard to find that. I'm not saying it's like happen overnight, because I've realized
no, it's not.
Because sometimes people take it the wrong way, and when the person knows your heart, they don't see it as bragging, because you're just saying, oh my god, this cool thing happened. Because you want to be able to be like, oh my god,
and like
accomplished this. And you don't want to be like, oh, like I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to like
weird.
So definitely like figuring out who those people are, and that's part of it.
And I guess just like using discretion. Like me and Steph met on Instagram. I DM'd her and I was like,
a year ago, right?
A year ago. We're like, it's our friendiversary. What if even tonight's our friendiversary?
I know, we don't know.
We like became friends September of 2016, and I just DM'd her, and I was like, because we've been like liking each other. You guys have like your Instagram girl crushes where you just like are always shouting each other out in comments. So we were just like doing that, and I was like, you know what, she's so awesome, she's probably not gonna respond, I'm just gonna DM her. And I was like, hey, love your stuff, like praying for you, cheering you on from afar. And then we ended up getting coffee, talking for like 3 hours. And then she's never gotten rid of me. So like we just hang out all the time. She's like so awesome. But you're not always gonna have people like that in your life. And I would say this in a completely humble and from a true place of just honest wanting to help you guys out. use discretion with who you allow in your inner circle.
Yeah.
You know, like we're all gonna get DMs from people who want to get close to us, and you just have to trust the Holy Spirit on who is for you and who just wants to get like information out of you, or who wants
like
to use you
for your platform.
Use you for your platform.
I've really I'm the type of person I always expect the best from people.
Yes, yes.
And so as you get involved with Instagram, social media, and being social influence or whatever, you realize that sometimes people don't want you for you, but they want you for what they can get from you.
Yes.
And if Instagram ended yesterday,
yeah,
would we be able to talk?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, she always says that. She's always like, if Instagram was deleted, I'd be totally fine. And I'm sure you guys would find that surprising because you like know her from Instagram and this and that. And it's like, you have to get to that place where, you know, you're not defined by social media. And even I work full-time in social media. It's my job. And then of course I run Daughters of Day, which is really heavily influenced through social media, the blog and Instagram and Twitter. And then I have my personal account, so I'm just always on social media. I literally work 40 hours a week. But you just have to use discretion like on social media and not make it like your God, you know? And just know who's for you, know who's not. But have boundaries like in everything, even down to like the music. Listen, I love rap music. I love trap music, we both do. But I also love Hillsong and Bethel, and I also like try to really set boundaries in my life. In everything I do, and if you do that, you will flourish. If that's the one thing you walk away from this video with as this comes to a close, like create healthy boundaries in your life, create boundaries in your friendships, create boundaries in your relationships, in your dreams, in your pursuits, in your ambitions, in everything you do. Create healthy boundaries, be intentional about what you want, and then I guess just, you know, really decide for yourself, what decisions do I have to make to live my best life? Like, who needs to be maybe, what toxic relationships need to be cut out of my life for me to grow into the woman of God that I'm destined to be? And if you're Christian, not Christian, watching this, just, you know, whatever your religion is, I love you. I think you're awesome. I want you to just know that whoever you are, you have a purpose. Like, you have a purpose. There's a reason you're on this earth, and there's always going to be things in life that try to like keep us down and hold us back from the plan that God has for us. So if there's one thing you take away, just know that like people like me and Steph are cheering you on. We're in your corner. We're always willing to give advice. And thanks for watching, you guys. We love you. I'll see you in the next video. If you have like any kind of videos you want to see, more kind of interviews, maybe something like super impersonal like this where we just have conversations on camera where I just bring my friends in, I can totally keep doing this. Let me know what you want to see and I will do it. I love you guys so much. Make sure you follow Steffi. She has a YouTube channel. It's amazing. We're gonna put the link right in the video, so make sure you follow her YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!